Still early, though. Plenty of time. But that game, how chaotic was it? LIU had taken the lead with 23 seconds to go in that game, and then off the draw, off the face-off, Army had to go down in a hurry and score and cut it off before the buzzer.
Man, what a disappointing end of the season that would have been, losing the one unbeaten to the Colonials in the regular season in the NEC until the last game of the year, lost to Lemoyne, a one-goal game, and then that would have been a loss to LIU in the next game. It would have been a tough pill to swallow for the Colonials after the start they had. Robert Morris trailing here, 5-2 as we start quarter number 2, but have the ball. Fake to Burr, near side. Trying to twist away from a defender, picking up the double team, now throwing it up top. Goes to Moon. Keen Moon. Back it goes to Burr. Now they sling it around. Behind the net, try to go in front. Here comes the shot, and it's well high, but they have a man back. Gave it out in front to Peltier. And the midfielder now jogs in a little closer as the Colonials put it in play behind the net. Still 10 to shoot. Now working his way in front, getting the angle, shooting though, and the save made. Ball bouncing around, and the Colonials get it back again. Liam Keane keeping it alive for RMU.
An important attempt there from Prezioso. Got it just enough on that cage. Reset that shot clock, was winding down.
A couple of times his jersey held, but still able to move the ball before getting clocked was Liam Keane. He was airborne and then took the cross check, knocked to the turf. And meanwhile, Airforce takes over. And Airforce another opportunity to extend this 3-goal lead. Falcons here on the road, leading 5-2. Surprise knocking off Utah, the 2-time defending champs. But not a huge surprise the way Airforce has played the second half of this season. Thrown behind the net. Only one common opponent between these two this year. That was Bellarmine. Colonials lost to Bellarmine, and Airforce blew them out. Shots, score, and guess who? It's number 1, Kalen Driggs, with his 4th of the game. 6-2, Airforce.
Driggs just continuing to amaze. I mean, unreal effort. Individual one at that, getting some space just for himself. I mean, basically blanketed most of this time. Gets down to the turf, gets up. My goodness. Driggs just working through it all. And that's how the majority of his goals have come this year and in this game. I mean, basically every time working one-on-one and one way or another getting a look on net. Oh, my. And sneaks it inside that post. What a shot from Driggs on Fector.
He's just one of those guys that can score from anywhere on the field. Oh, and a bouncing ball. Colonials couldn't pick it up. Had a man there, Brian Simmons. But instead, Airforce hustling to the ball.
Now that hopped up on Simmons like 3 times. That is one you have to have. One that's right there and your stick for you.
Airforce with their biggest lead of the game. The Colonials been held off the board for a while. Thought they had a goal late in the first quarter, but it was waved off after a review. Now their last goal came with 6:19 to go in the first.
And the Colonials opened this game with 5 straight face-off wins, but Airforce has won 3 of the last 5.
Wig save, Fector. Ball loose. Boy, Fector. The shot came from outside, but it was a missile. Airforce still with the ball. Try to get it to the side. A wide open chance, and it's 7-2. Airforce running away right now, as they are all over the Colonials here in the first half. And Cole Rassis gets his first of the game.
What a feed by Yago. You see the work here from Airforce. A quick pass, and look at Yago looking across the field, right through that defense to find Rassis. My goodness, Yago, he's He has tremendous vision for this Falcons team, and he finds Rassus back post. No one on him, and a goal for the Falcons.
Rassus joins the party for Airforce. And man, the Colonials in trouble now. Airforce has the ball again after the face-off win. But it's dropped on the near side. Can the Colonials get to it? No. Airforce picks it up again. The Falcons. Charlie Pfeiffer comes away with it.
Just feels like right now for Airforce, every time the ball's on the turf, they have two guys in the area to help out. Guys are getting open. Defensively, they're suffocating the Colonials. It's been all Airforce now in the past about 15 minutes of this game.
Cole Cunningham with 80 ground balls this year. And he's been everywhere again. 10:48 to go in the half, and Air Force is starting to pull away. There's Driggs. Gives it behind the net. Wraparound shot. Fector makes the save. Well, I thought Driggs was going to shoot. Well, you always do. Instead, he gave it to Iago, but Iago stopped by Fector.
Yeah, one of the better stops so far this game. Merrick had one where he had to go down low and make a real tough save, but Iago, he got a step outside. You see it in the left bottom left of your screen, got around their defender, Tapper, just got a couple steps and a good shot, but a better save.
Shot from outside is blocked. Gavin Padone for Robert Morris. Colonials in dire need of a goal. It has been a long time since they got on the board, and the Air Force just keeps pulling away more and more. Great pass underneath, but it was dropped. Boy, what a find all alone next to the cage was Prezioso, but he dropped it, and instead the other way, Iago shoots, and he's stopped by Fector. Iago alone to the goal.
Wow, chaos, both ends of the field. I mean, Prezioso, he had it. Prime opportunity right on the doorstep. Kind of similar to that goal from Rassus, but Rassus on that end caught it, put it in. Prezioso couldn't do so, and then how quickly Air Force moved upfield. Fector and the defense has to be ready, and great save by Fector.
He's made a few huge saves here as of late.
Don't want to keep relying on your goalkeeper to bail you out. He has 4 saves so far for Fector.
Now RMU trying to get back on the board. Dropped again. Robert Morris just dropping balls as Rayom loses that one, and Air Force comes away with it.
Yeah, it's becoming an issue right now for RMU. So Prezioso drop it off the draw, off the face-off. Simmons couldn't haul it in. Really something they have to clean up in a hurry. Can't have that happen. And Air Force right now, I mean,
keep wondering if McDonald's going to use a timeout, but he's only got one left. Air Force in command. Working it behind the net. Fector has been making saves. Now here's Driggs behind the net. One-on-one with Rag. Throws it up high. Here comes the shot. It's low. Fector stops it, and he finds it between the legs and smothers it. Fector, another save for RMU.
Wow, 3 in a row now for Fector. I mean, Rassus, a heavy shot. You could see it kind of knocked Fector over, but Fector just trying to make the save, making sure it stays out of the cage. What a stop.
Boy, and these saves so big right now with Robert Morris in danger of falling way behind here in this first half. Trying to give his team time to gain their rhythm. And a case of the drops lately of the Colonials. And Airforce on the other side thinking the score should be a lot worse right now. Here comes the shot, and it's blocked. Never got near the cage, and it rolls out of the back of the end zone. Turned over to Airforce.
That block shot coming from John Kleinbeck. Midfielder for Airforce. Really, this Airforce team sacrificing everything they can in front of these shots.
Falcons trying to get it across midfield. They do, but they lose the ball. Little hit there at the end from Brennan, and it's RMU ball. They try to throw it ahead to Brennan, but he couldn't pick it up, and now a foot race for it. And it's flipped. The netminder Merrick. Airforce ball as they bring it to the 50. 6:40 to go, second quarter. 2 goals in the quarter. They both belong to the Falcons. It was 5-2 after one. Tono's got the first goal of the game, but it's been all Airforce since. Opening game of the NCAA tournament. The winner takes on Maryland, the number 2 seed in the tournament. Ball knocked out of the stick of Driggs.
Really strong defense by Simmons. I mean, Driggs trying to go every which way. Simmons never lost him.
Colonials throw it away. Intercepted by Airforce. And now they're making it awful tough on Robert Morris in transition. And Fechter's been keeping Robert Morris in this game here in the second quarter. As Airforce just keeps coming. Driggs with 4 goals already in the game for the Falcons. He has been dominant. Shot goes high. Mano Wilhelm for Airforce as they put it back in play. Still 36 to shoot. Warm day here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on the campus of Robert Morris University. Garrow Von Dane, Nathan Breisinger, opening game of the men's NCAA Division I tournament. Robert Morris winners of the NEC in their first season back in that league. And Airforce champions of the Atlantic Sun. Ball dislodged. But the Colonial defender didn't know it. Owen Tapper was guarding the man. So Airforce holds on, but now 7 seconds to shoot. Some contact, balls
Yeah, that
dropped.
was up high.
And it, came too high. So that's going to be a penalty against RMU. And I think they're going to get Brendan Cena, who's just 5'9", but put that stick up too high.
You believe I think Wilhelm might have gotten it up high. Wilhelm not too big either at 5'10". Right here, number 43, you just see him trying to spin away, and then, yep, took that cross-check right to the face. So last time, Air Force just one man-up advantage so far in this game, and they capitalized. Here we go again for the Falcons.
So Airforce, another opportunity for a full minute this time. First one was of the 32nd variety in Airforce with a 7-2 lead in a 1-minute man advantage. Falcons dominating time of possession in this game. Up top, it's Peen, number 56. Near side for Wilhelm behind the net. Now they move in tight. Up top, shot goes wide of the cage from Peen. Peen has one in the game. That came with 10:40 to go in the first quarter. Still plenty of time in this man advantage, 40 seconds. Peen works it up top to the right side. Back high. Fake the shot. Peen's got it again. Into the middle. The slot shot is stopped by Fechter. Fechter's got another save. And that one's gigantic because the Colonials are shorthanded.
Yeah, that was a huge save from Fechter, but even better help from the Colonial defense, trying to make sure they clear that ball out. Reed Greco involved back there for the Colonials, making sure, I believe Triggs was trying to hunt that ball down.
Colonials get it across midfield. They have gone a long time without a goal, more than a full quarter. About 18 minutes now without a goal for Robert Morris. And again, thought they had one in the final seconds of the first quarter, but it was waved off after a review. Found the player in the slot, or in the crease rather. Burr with his second of the game. And Burr gets the Colonials back on the board. It's 7-3 Airforce.
We've seen a couple of these tough angle shots, and Burr, the Colonials needed this one so bad. Sneaking it in past Jake Merrick on that short side.
Robert Morris staying alive here in the first half, but the Falcons have a 4-goal lead. Back in a minute on ESPN+. Star player Kalen Drew has been so strong. Went Robert Morris breaks a long scoring drought. Went nearly 20 minutes without a goal, but they get back on the board to climb within 4. Airforce has been so strong and so stout defensively. Colonial's been getting some help from their goaltender, Nate Fechter. And Airforce getting 4 goals from star player Kalen Driggs, who has dazzled in this game. Face off in midfield. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. NCAA opening round game here, the Men's Division I Lacrosse Championship. Winner gets Maryland in College Park. Shot from deep by RMU. And Robert Morris putting it in play behind that Airforce goal. Clennon. Colonials go behind the net. Moving. Now Prezioso steps in front, picks up a defender. Looks down at his jersey and passes it behind the net. And Prezioso's now heading off. I wonder if he has an equipment issue. Yep, his shoe came off.
Yep, figured out what was going wrong.
He had a flat tire. RMU, though, meanwhile, continues to cycle. Still 22 to shoot, and a big hit, and this one's going against Charlie Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Pfeiffer, like a bear hug, kind of just wrapped around the Colonial attacker. I think it was McLennan there. Yeah, McLennan.
Just
stopped him in his tracks. I mean, McLennan's got some speed going and just stopped by Pfeiffer.
I wonder if Pfeiffer plays for Airforce football.
Would have been a solid tackle out there.
Looked like a linebacker ready to snag the tailback. Lacrosse is one of those sports at the high school level now where so many football players are encouraged to play lacrosse in the offseason. At any rate, Airforce with a man in the box for 30 seconds. Colonials with a man-up chance here, but they pass it out of bounds. Oh, no. Referees made a call, so it's going to stay with RMU.
I think they said it deflected off of someone down there from Airforce.
So RMU holds on to the ball. Another 10 seconds with the extra man. Great spot and wide open. Nolan Barker gets to the Colonials to within 3. It's a 7-4 game. First of the game for Barker.
Excellent ball movement by Robert Morris as that time was ticking down. The man-up advantage. Not even sure if there was any time left. They're going to give it a man-up goal, but how about that tic-tac-toe play? The freshman, Nolan Barker, stepping in and scoring for the Colonials off that far post. Merrick just could not get over there and cover it up.
And the Colonials making a little noise here late in the half. Airforce scored the first 2 goals of the quarter to stretch their lead to 5, but now RMU scratching out a couple, and they get the ball again after the face-off win. And time is called. Craig McDonald wants to use his timeout with 1:27 to go in the first half. Colonials, signs of life. Airforce leading 7-4 with 1:27 to go in half number 1. And think about those saves, Nate, for the other Nate, for Nate Fector, keeping the Colonials alive here.
Yeah, Fector making some huge stops and has led a little bit to that offense recently for the Colonials. But taking a look back over the past couple of years for Robert Morris and the success they've had, as we talked about, Craig McDonald hired in 2022 after Andrew McMinn went off to Utah and the ASUN. And the Colonials won the ASUN championship that year, defeating McMinn in Utah 18-17. Then the following year in 2023, facing these very Airforce Falcons, losing 12-4, a big win for the Falcons in the semifinals before going off to the championship game. And then the final year in ASUN play before RMU moved along back to the NEC, fell in the semis to Jacksonville that year. But this year, much more success came their way for the Colonials. Most conference wins in program history at 6-1.
Yeah, and everyone was talking about the Lemoyne rematch in the championship game at Lemoyne. And a shocker, falling to Detroit Mercy in the semifinals on their home field after beating RMU in the final game of the season to earn home field advantage. A disappointing finish for Lemoyne. And so Robert Morris never even played him. Instead, pounded Detroit Mercy in that championship game.
Yeah, and it was a resounding start, too. Garrett, we were here together with the women's lacrosse Mid-American tournament for the women's team here for Robert Morris. And RMU went on a 10-goal run in that first quarter we were talking about to defeat Detroit Mercy.
Dominant performance by the Colonials in the championship game up at Syracuse, New York against Lemoyne. Colonials earning their trip into this opening round game. And now trying to climb back in against Airforce, who jumped out to a big early lead in this one. Robert Morris with the ball. 65 on the shot clock, 1:19 on the first half clock. So just 14, 15 seconds between. RMU eating time right now. And they would love to go into the break just down 2 after the way this game started. And keep it right here at halftime as we're going to have a visit from one of the coaches before we start our halftime show here in Pittsburgh. 46 seconds to go in the quarter, 30 seconds to shoot. Robert Morris picks up the pace. They get a man underneath. Tackled in front. Ball is loose. And a foot race to the far sideline. Kicked at. Ball rolls out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Airforce. Home crowd doesn't like it. Big crowd here at Joe Walton Stadium for this tournament game. And now Airforce with a chance to pick up one more before the half. Still 23 seconds to go before the horn. And the Falcons are going to use their timeout now with 21.2 to go in the half. So RMU comes up empty on their side. Do not get a shot on goal in that possession. Instead, turn it over. Now Airforce gets it across midfield. And now they'll draw something up with 21.2 to go. And you got to figure the ball's going to go through number one at some point on this final half possession.
Absolutely. You think probably the duo of Yago to Driggs here in this final couple of seconds in this first half. But, I mean, Airforce, RMU's starting to climb back just a little bit, but Airforce has just played so well all half long. Colonials have turned it over 13 times, and the Falcons have benefited. But a big part of that's just been the defense, that suffocating defense we talked about, and talked briefly before the game to head coach Bill Wilson, you see there for Airforce, and he just talked about they really had to guard against the RMU transition and the way the Colonials can play a little bit off script at times. And so far, Airforce has stayed home, played really well interior-wise defensively.
Yeah, usually when you have a team that's that aggressive defensively in transition, if you're a team like Robert Morris, you can take advantage of that. But the Colonials have not been able to do that today. And Airforce, like I said, staying home, defenders in position, and they have not allowed Robert Morris anything easy today. 7-4 lead Airforce. Final seconds here of the half, and Airforce out of a timeout. Yaga will put it in play near side. Drops it back. Driggs is on the far side of the cage. Airforce trying to add one here before the horn. Curling. Now back to Yago. Drops the ball. It's loose on the turf, and that's going to cause the final seconds to tick off. And a call, they're going to give the ball to Robert Morris, but time's going to run out anyway. So the Colonials with a big defensive stop of their own here to close out the half, and Robert Morris ends the half on a 2-goal run, but Airforce with the big start will take a 7-4 lead